And now, just the beginning part is the going to help with the line of action. If you remember some of that from before, that depending on your composition on the page, and I keep talking about this S curve, which is kind of the shape that they give. It's not always an S, but the idea is there that from all the exaggeration from this whole page, all the way across to give this line of action, and there's a couple of them, but according to this character, as you do this, we're coming back to the squirrel, only in a different manner. So here's the circle for the head, and you can see how everything is landed, but you also want to try to block out all of the character's limbs. So this foot that you see is going to give you this angle that is counter. They call it counterpuntal, but it's just the opposite of the main action. And if you can see a stick figure, even though it's a cartoon showing shoulders, that show this arm. This arm is what they call foreshortening. Here's the hand. You see the wrist, but you don't see it all because the hand is in front of it, and most of it is kind of telescoped back, just a small cylinder. But once you get the stick figure in there, go ahead and give it a little bit of an oval shape just to give you something to work with. And this whole neckline and hand is all in the same plane, or the same line of action. And when you break down this, the head of this squirrel, for example, it's still circular, but it's mostly for the lower part. Still finds a center line, but it's now a profile. And the line that shows the eye line that goes around it, you're pretty low looking up at it. And if you stop for a second, or if you just continue this line, just to get something out there for the hands so you can see this skeletal structure. And as I come across here with this foot, when you think back to the squash and stretch, then all of the limbs are now exaggerated with this piece, and then the tail kind of telescoping, cascading all the way out there. So you can see this entire page. And then you go back and can locate this. So again, here's the center line. You think way back to the circle part for the egghead character from way back. Here's the cheek. It's going around in perspective, so it has that. Still has the center line, and under the nose it's telescoped out a little bit, so it's a cylindrical shape. You have the separation, the septum underneath the nose right there, and then you have the teeth. So all of this again is still brought down here as well. Okay, the mouth is a triangular shape again, but it's exaggerated and stretched out because he's kind of yelling or screaming. And then the lower lip for that piece. So the eyes, they're not vertical, but they're slanted back, giving that arrangement for that section. And then everything in there with the ears kind of quickly drawn in there, hairline, kind of giving a little bit of hair there, and the eyes. So just kind of blocking it in for now, and I'll finish it up, but just kind of want to show you this first section. So that mouth, and then the tongue coming out as a shape, finds a center line that gives the inside of the tongue there. But when you take a look at all the hands that we've drawn, that also has a little bit of a ring section to it. There's the circular part for the palm. The thumb cuts across. There's the index finger coming around, and then the other two fingers of the piece are there. So it's just lightly sketched in. This one's a little bit more of a fist, so you think of the palm is in there, but the three fingers are coming around it, and the thumb underneath. And these fingers go from large to small just to accentuate the fact that they're all different sizes and in perspective. A little bit of the ring for the glove if you still place that in there. And again, it's all become little shoulders, a little bit of the neck, kind of telescoping out of there. And you can always adjust it and change it. The belly and the pelvis to the torso to the section, there's kind of a torso here. It tapers up like a water drop shape. And then everything else is just kind of almost like a puppet thing here. And there's the foot. So like I said, I just wanted to show it real quick, get you set up at least with the basic beginning part to get you started, and then cut you loose on it to let you go on that part. But and this is the idea with the sports fans. So take a look at that part. And building that in there. And once you have it laid out, then go back in with a little bit more of the object lines when you get working, heavying them up, looking for that thin and thick stroke.